What up, Juggalos? Panic 17 here. Carnival Spirits, you know what it is. This is going to be our first interview for 2016. You are no stranger to In the Tunnels. I've done interviews with rappers that are up and coming, such as T Ride. I interviewed Corporal Robinson, and that was our first wrestling interview. And guess what? I got another first for In the Tunnels. We got our first comedian. And you're probably wondering, okay, that's fine, but what does that have to do with juggalos? The motherfucker is a juggalo, okay? Calm down.
Everybody must have been my name, it's just not you.
So yes, this is Steve Acosta. As far as I know, and he can correct me, I believe that he has done a set before ICP performed.
I've actually done, so my whole thing is I've been on a song with this ICP in the show. It's called Murder You. It was the first cut off of, you know how when the last Violent J's solo album dropped?
Right.
Shining.
Yeah.
He got a free CD at the Gathering in 08, right before that.
Right.
8 seconds of an intro of that song that's like, knock, knock, who's there, murder who? Murder you. The original cut of that song is 8 seconds of my stand-up as the intro.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Because I remember you saying that on one of your bits that you do.
Yeah, that's my 8 seconds of juggalosing.
That's the shit, though. I mean, that's kind of a big thing to put them on a song, put you on a song.
Well, here's the story on that. So before that, I'm kind of lazy, and I was married before, and I was on lockdown, and things are a lot different for me now. So I was on MySpace. We were just talking about MySpace off the air, and I was on MySpace, and I got a message from the Insane Clown Posse MySpace, and it was Psychopathic Records trying to get a hold of you. I called there. I think I spoke to, he was one of the radio guys. I don't think he works there anymore. He was one of the Psychopathic radio guys.
Like a host?
Yeah.
Kind of bigger white dude?
I think so.
DJ Philin.
No, I think it was one of those guys. I think his name was Anthony or something like that. I haven't had contact with him twice, but they originally wanted me to be on Psychopathic Radio while they had the Dark Lotus tour going.
Oh, okay.
And I really couldn't do that because it would have been called in, it would be kind of ghetto, or I would have had to go to Detroit, which I didn't have the money at the time.
Right.
So Bill said, keep in contact. We definitely want to have you come out to the gathering. We definitely want to work with you. So I got a call from my boy. This is kind of a shout out to this is my boy Bane, who's down in Tucson, representing that whole spectrum out there. But he goes, hey, I think you're on this CD. I just not at the gathering. I'm like, no way. So he goes, yeah, just go to, and I went to not Desert Juggalos, those are my boys too, but I went to Tango Lovers, downloaded that CD, because it's still available. Go to Tango Lovers, and they're down, sorry, I'm out of breath here, I get excited.
It's all good.
If you go to Tango Lovers right now, you can actually download it, track 14. That's the original cut of Murder You. There's a YouTube video on it, they call it Knockin' Off. If you look up Violent J Knock Knock, you'll hear it too.
I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah, so that's as far as I went. It was actually Tango Lovers that actually helped me a lot because they would put up my flyers. They would help me a lot. Say, hey, this guy's a juggler doing comedy. It was kind of like there was only me and a couple other people out of LA that were kind of juggalos.
Right.
But I was the only one that was kind of like doing juggalo comedian. I had a video where I was shouting out juggalo comedian in my old MySpace.
And when I watch the videos, juggalos get a certain reputation. And when I watch the videos, it seems to not even phase your set. Like, you're still killing it after they know you're a juggalo.
That's why I'm excited. Hopefully this year I get on the gathering, the late night comedy. I'm in contact with a gentleman right now who's like, hey, there's a countdown right now, I guess, going on to the Juggalo Gathering website. Because once that countdown's done, submit your stuff. Maybe get a feature for somebody like a Ralphie May or Cheech and Chong or somebody like that that's coming to the gathering.
Right.
So that'd be awesome.
Yeah, Ralphie May's another badass comic.
I've only been to one gathering, so I've only been to a gathering in 05. I was trying to open for Charlie Mercer.
Oh, shit.
He was on a tour, and I guess he had like 6 openers or something.
Right.
And they said, well, we don't have time to have all your openers. It's going to be you for an hour. And he doesn't even do the whole hour, so he's going to have me all the openers. But he just said no openers. So I was so close to being able to open, And he wasn't as big back then. Of course, he was now in the Chappelle Show, and he only got out like first or second season. And
right. The
and
one.
that was still a good time going to the gathering. But I kind of told myself when I go to the gathering again, I want to earn myself, a nice little pass and be able to hang out and do the comedy. And my dream was to be on that stage at the end, so I'll tell you.
Oh yeah.
I got love from my people out there that I got to spend the money to do the VIP thing and get on stage with them. I think that's awesome, but I want to earn it myself. That's kind of my focus right now.
And for those that are wondering, it's not like you just barely came out. You've been around.
I've been around for what?
Yes, you've been around for 14 years.
I was a finalist, the funniest person in Arizona.
Right.
And that was, you're looking at 125, 130 people. That was all based on audience votes, so that was blessed to start off early. I had Craig Gass came through Arizona. This was a week after 9/11. Craig Gass comes through Arizona, and I shit my pants. I'm 22 years old. I think I'm maybe 23 at the time, but I look and I see a line around the parking lot, like a line you would see for Twisted, a line you would see for Tech, a line you would see for ICP. But to see the guy, he was on Stern at the time. And Stern was on the radio at the time. There was no Sirius XM back then. And I got to go on there, 400 plus. And the venue called the Nash on Ash back in the day. Twisted used to headline it. A lot of people that are bigger now, they used to set up over there. So I was there, it was really nice to me, comedy spot. I took a little break from doing it, but I got back with him, and I did one show. He had to say, hey, you want to come back and do your own show? It's a Halloween show we had. Had a good time there. Made a little bit of, made a little bit of money, and kind of moved here at the perfect opportunity when it came off of, headlining it was on a Thursday, so I could do the whole weekend or nothing, but that's what I'm about. There was a million comedians out there that said they headlines for the big people. I'm a juggler, so I'm more into the upcoming guys. And one of the funniest guys out there right now, check out Roberto Rodriguez. I got to open for him over at the Laugh Factory. That dude, he's the guy, I laughed so hard, I blacked out while laughing. I don't know if you've ever experienced with, psychedelics, mushrooms, or acid or anything.
No.
You do the whole laughing thing where you laugh so hard, you'll eventually black out.
Right.
And, I was on, of course, acid and mushrooms. I haven't done that a few years now, but that's like the shit that this guy is seeing his set will do. And, of course, I work with 420 Comedian. I'll be doing his show in March up at the Can I Get a Laugh in Colorado Springs. That's Jeffrey Peterson. Best impersonations, best impressions there is. Craig Gass is decent. Of course, the big people are decent. That are, your Pablo Francisco, Frank Caliendos, but he's right up with them.
Up and comers.
That's what I do. People are gonna help me come up, and I know they're coming out. I want to make them come up even more.
That's what seems to kind of like be the thing with good comedians. They're not like, I don't want the whole spotlight. I want to help bring people to the spotlight with me.
Exactly. Like, there's this place out here, and it's the stage of the Star, and they bring up a lot of upcoming people. I know right now they have one of the top people who's in Phoenix right now, Jill Bryan, who's Jimmy Kimmel's sister, but she's up there this week. Another guy is coming up who's really funny, Ty Rivera, very upcoming guy. He just one of the funniest, Arizona's funniest or something like that. There's a lot of my people now. My boy is to us, Brian Ritchie, trying to go still casino tour going with him. Probably one of the places we'll head up. We're also thinking about going with the Inn of the Mountain of the Gods.
Oh yeah.
They're saying we want to get something going over there. So I'm just loving the opportunity I'm getting right now. So I'm just kind of talking and getting too excited. I even smoked before this too.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Definitely did. I know I've heard the name Ty Rivera before, and I'm pretty sure I heard him on a podcast. I listen to so many, I can't even remember which one it was. I kind of want to say maybe it's Felipe Esparza, but I know I've heard him before somewhere.
That's where Roberto's in. It's kind of like Felipe, Roberto. Another guy I worked with, Sean Mason.
Right.
He's like a lot of movies now. He's doing his thing. He comes to Arizona, headliner, really good guy. So they're all kind of. So most likely it was his.
So you've been in this for 14 years. When did
16 in October.
When did comedy enter your life, and like what age?
State when I was, 9 years old, 8 years old. And I even first tried doing stand-up, just doing all this material at a little YMCA talent search. That was like the first time I did it. And I was always tempted to do it. Like, there would always be talent shows at my junior high. Everybody hated me, so I would have gone through no matter what, so it's a good thing I didn't do it. But I was always like, man, wouldn't it be cool if I went there and did stand-up? And I always thought, like, even though I was on a cruise, then ironically that cruise showed Titanic, which is a whole other story. But they had an open mic on there, didn't do that. So when I came out to Arizona, I had a lot of friends. I was the Boston guy. So, you hang out with a bunch of Arizona guys in cowboy hats. They go to Cali. They're more of this whole West Coast kind of attitude, more Western camping, the gun-toting guys, not necessarily the racist rednecks. There's a couple of them, but not necessarily like the negative stereotype. But so they kind of saw me as almost a little Joe Pesci and all that. They would try to get me to talk like that. So they're like, you should go do stand-up. And of course, like any other comedian, you do your one show where 12 friends show up, and then you do shows for 10 years, and you're only going to get 1 or 2 of them. And
right.
That's kind of how it goes. I mean, once in a while, you'll get 8 or 9, and, you're on TV and so forth, but that's just kind of how people are. That's why, like, I'm hosting For the Love of Rap. It's like a thing that my boy Demise is putting on. He's doing that on, the 12th of February. I love hosting concerts because that's, a lot of comedians don't like doing it, but there's 2 ways to host concerts. You either do comedians in between the acts, which is a disaster, or you just be the one comedian, you say, hey, I'll host your show, I'll do my set, and then if it's quiet in between the acts, I'll do a couple other jokes. It's harder to do it with bands, it's a lot easier with, of course, rappers.
Yeah, I've seen you on, on your page. You're very active.
One thing, a lot of people talk negative about the guy that runs the comedy spot, this guy named Sean Dillon. He's a good guy. I've known him for, 15 years. Just like every other comedian in that valley, we've had our ups and downs. But he taught me a lot about promoting. He's like, promote yourself like you're a headliner. Promote yourself like you're a celebrity, and then eventually people will come to you. And even a lot of people that didn't go to my shows, see them out much that promoted one, go out and eventually did. I had a big going away party for me at the Native Grow. My boy Bobby Johnson, if you ever need a DJ in the Arizona area, DJ Mello V, look him up. He's a really good guy. He kind of helped regenerate my comedy career. And of course, a lot of the headliners I know, my buddy Mark Fry got me back in the comedy spot. Roberto Rodriguez, a really funny guy. Like I said, he got me with Last Factory. A lot of really, like I said, I was able, and I'm also blessed to be involved with the 420 scene in Arizona, which was a lot of the medical marijuana shows. I did a festival where I first met Roberto Rodriguez and did a lot, with my buddy, my Eskimo brother, which is true, John Santos. We both like my ex-wife. So I was able to get involved with a couple of these venues that have since closed down, of course, because God forbid if legal people with legal marijuana cards could smoke weed together at an independent little place.
Right.
They won't have that in Arizona, of course, unless it's portrait. So we tried that. We tried doing another festival in 2014. It was on the news. My buddy CJ, he ended up being on the news. I don't know if you ever heard of the band Property 6.
No.
They're a lot of the juggalos in Arizona. They do a lot of. They've toured with Funk Junkies and Cottonmouth Kings.
Oh, okay.
They've done songs with Be Real from not Be Real, but the other guy. Send Dogs from Cypress Hill. Let's Get Loco. Look that up. That's a really good song. But they were the person that kind of put it all on. And it's very political. Trying to do anything outside of kind of Colorado, maybe California, Washington, Oregon. Arizona doesn't really have that. Maybe out here in Albuquerque or in New Mexico, we could get something like that going, hopefully. Or of course, Colorado's not too far away.
Yeah.
The show was over at the Purple Haze House, and it was the thing was run by Val Venus, Sean Morley.
Right.
And if anybody has ever met him personally, big Canadian accent.
Nice.
You don't know it because Vince McMahon doesn't really like the Canadian accent. That's why you didn't really hear it. Bret Hart back in the day, of course. A lot of those other guys, they made him cover it up and put him into speech classes. But Val Venus, He's a really good guy. He's very political.
He's actually like, isn't he a distributor now or something like that?
Where he was running the Purple Haze House, that didn't run through. They had issues with the ventilation. This is what they did in Arizona. They politicked and they said, "Oh, you want to have your place to smoke weed in? You're going to pay $60,000 for a big ventilator."
Damn.
They wanted to put basically the equivalent of what you have in an auto body shop that ventilates it out. They wanted to put that in the back of the store to get rid of the air because it stunk up the whole
yeah.
the whole complex. And so I would hang out with him. I would show up on a Sunday. Nobody would be there but him. We would sit there 4 or 6 hours shooting the shit. He'd tell me about stories, about blood wrestlers, about drunk bang hookers, did this, that, and the other thing. Very interesting. And of course, I'm a big wrestling mark. I watch the WWE Network. Getting back into TNA, I'm not really. It seems like it's pretty much in the same spot it was 2 years ago when they moved from Spike to Destination, or a year ago, whenever that was.
Yeah.
But it kind of seems like it was doing the same exact thing years ago that they did years ago. That's WWE stale too. So hopefully TNA, like they did back in the day, will benefit off of stale WWE and get some guys in there.
I mean, TNA was doing good there for a while. I remember when I first started watching it, and they had like, Voodoo Kin Mafia.
Yeah.
They had like.
The $10 pay-per-views were awesome. I used to order those because you'd have ICP and Sting on those.
Yeah, they would just show up.
Yeah. That's when it was good. I think when they got Spike TV, they started getting their own roster. They weren't able to, because I think they originally had to deal with ROH, where you had CM Punk, you had your Daniel Bryan types, and Samoa Joes, and we're doing ROH shows and doing TNA shows, and I think ROH, when they came under new management, they put a stop to that.
Yeah, man, it's a shame to see them not doing as good as they once were, because they were killing it for a while. They were giving WWE a good run. They don't have the money, but...
The Carters, that's DC Carter's dad that runs that. That's a billionaire.
Yep.
That's another guy with that Ted Turner money, but they don't... Of course, like WCW in the later term, you get Vince Russo in there. You get these idiots that are running things, throwing an idea in the wall that doesn't stick. Remember that biggest show? Remember when Hogan showed up? Eric Bischoff showed up, and they had that little, what was it, that little kind of half spear ring?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Kind of like what they do, I think it was CNLL or AAA, one of those Mexican promotions.
Yeah, the six-sided ring.
No contest. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's when everybody started trying to bullshit. And literally a week later, a video popped up on YouTube where the producers of TNA were telling the people, no, you guys can't be trying an asshole or bullshit. This isn't the Attitude Era. You guys are getting it for free. You're cast members on the show. You want to be family-oriented. Of course, because you had Hogan in there, he dropped the six-sided ring, brought back the four sides, which he did good and he did bad for the company at the same time, I think.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he brought in guys like RVD. I remember I went to Bound for Glory 2012 in Phoenix, which the crowd was dead. I was the one that got most of the chance going. What's funny is that on the show too. If you go on YouTube right now and look up Bound for Glory 2012, you'll see my JCW shirt, like the front row.
Fuck yeah, always representing.
I'm trying to take pictures, so you don't really see my face. You see the cell phone in front of my face with the JCW shirt.
Which, speaking of JCW, for those of these guys that don't know, and I know we talked about this on the phone before we got it recorded, but one of the reasons why you're on here is because, yes, you are a Juggalo, and you have performed for ICP in Arizona, correct?
No, not for that.
No? Or was that just a joke?
For ICP, that's pretty much right. It was a gentleman by the name of Intrinsic.
Oh, okay.
He got me hooked up with the Marquee Theater. He did something where he did about 4 shows there. 2 out of the 4 were relatively successful. Of course, with any other Juggalo scene shows, you're going to have your hit or miss shows. And that's nothing on him, nothing on the scene. It's just like that with everything.
Right.
Whatever. One of the shows I did, it was close to 300 days. That was the Juggalo Mini Gathering. It was like in March of 08 or 09. And that's, you've probably seen the video where I'm in my shorts and my Boston shirt saying, if you're outside, get your asses in, blah, blah, blah. That's
right.
not really good editing, by the way. But, it wasn't that one. That's actually the video song. That's from the second one that I did a show with. It was SKR. I I know you guys probably have them on there before I was kind of looking through your website.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we know SKR.
Yeah, I swear they're SKR chat, and correct me if I'm wrong, hit me up on my Facebook where they got it or whatever. It almost sounds like when they go SKR, what, S, before they show their videos.
Right.
I swear that's a recording for me getting that chance when I get the show. But
I don't know really who, as far as our viewers, knows about comedy, and I don't claim to know a lot. I just watch a lot of podcasts, and when you listen to podcasts, and especially when 70% of them are comedian oriented, you retain some knowledge. I assume that Arizona is kind of a hotspot for comedy right now. What would make you want to switch to Albuquerque?
Don't get me wrong, there's 7 or 8 clubs right now. There's been kind of a shift because, I don't know if anybody saw the show Bar Rescue. There was a comedy club that was Stand Up Scottsdale that's run by Howard Hughes, real good guy. I got a video, one of my funniest videos, not the best quality, one of my funniest videos is on stage there. It's about 5 minutes. But he had to switch clubs, which there was another club at, which was the Easy Lounge. That was run by a very nice guy named Brian. I never did it, but I came out there. They were nothing but welcoming me there. But I just never got a chance to kind of come around and do it because I'm lazy stoner. But so that's closing down. That club's becoming Stand Up Scottsdale. Stand Up Scottsdale had a side room called the Taffy Room. I'm not sure how they're going to do that, but I think there's room for they might have 2 rooms in there, kind of like that before. But there's also the Laugh Factories out there. I've done that. House of Comedy, where I let me host the show there. The Comedy Spot. That's the longest running independent comedy club in the Valley. That's been around since '04. And of course, you got your Tempe Improv. It's open closed, Stand Up Live. They're basically the sister clubs. Those are the big corporate ones. Kind of going to get in through their use cases and all that. I never did Stand Up Live. Hopefully, I'll be able to do it one day when the right person kind of puts on the right show. But I did the Tempe Improv way back in the day before they really redid it. But it's all a cool scene out there. I mean, it's a bunch of hungry comedians now. And it's less cutthroat than it was, of course, back in 2001 and so on. But a lot of very good guys that are out there, very funny guys, very supportive now. But I just needed a change. So I like the smallness, the scene out here in Albuquerque. Out here it's, very tight-knit group. They're very into helping each other out. I mean, compared to being out here in Arizona, out here, every show I'm sending a picture of a bio. I only really did that in Arizona when I headlined the Coffee Spot.
Right.
So they have a mentality out here that a lot of people are getting treated very pretty much like their local. Everybody's kind of almost a local headliner. Not to kind of make my head better or anything like that, but they kind of all have the attitude where everybody's kind of on an even playing field, and they all consider each other stars. They all consider each other. It's not really as a tiered structure as it is maybe in Arizona. Out here, it's more of a just kind of top tier. And that's why I'm having a good time out here with it.
Kind of seems like with the internet, the comedy has really just grown. And I guess I don't know why, but I never really thought that there was some kind of scene like that in Albuquerque. I just never knew that there were places for them to go.
And a lot of people get scared when I say club out here, but really, all you need is a Hooters that's willing to put up a couple of curtains in the corner and have a couple lights on you to get a sound guy, and you can have a club. And that's what they do in L.A. And it's one of the best clubs in L.A. is run out of Hooters. So really, club, everybody thinks you got to have a big corporate Tempe Improv or a big corporate place. You don't. And especially out here in a city like Albuquerque, which is very independent, because it's very, you really don't see people drinking Budweiser and Coors Light like you would in Tempe and Costa. You're seeing people drinking locally produced craft beers that one bar sells to another bar, and they kind of help each other out. And it's kind of that mentality with everything out here, which reminds me of being back east. That's kind of what I'm thinking about here, about not being here in Albuquerque. Not to get too much off topic.
Right. No, that's fine. I mean, the only place that I really knew of, and it's only because I went to go see them, like we were talking on the phone, is I went to
Yeah.
go see Ari Shafir and Joey Diaz at the, I believe it was called the Red Rock Casino in Santa
I
Fe.
know those are like Vegas. I'm not sure. I'm not really up with the casinos around here. I just know the 3 or 4 of them. But that's where the big, the top tier scene out in pretty much New Mexico here. It seems like it's the casinos. And I think if we had the right type of structure out here, we could have your little independent 100-seater comedy club out here like that.
And
Even a few rooms that I've done out here, which could easily be that. If, you know, you just have the right management, get the right people saying, hey, why don't we do this?
right.
And then do that, and then eventually say, hey, eventually get $5, $10 shows going for, you know, upcoming, and of course, your headliners are now television.
It's good to have that because, you know, it's a variety. You don't want to just see, you know, top stars. You want to see top stars also make it, you know, come from the ground up. And
Exactly.
Albuquerque's a big place, so I mean, there's got to be many different places that are willing to do things like that. They put on rap shows, you know, why not a comedy, you know, some comedy acts in with it.
Out here is really cool too. It's you know, it's very different from Phoenix as far as not really. It's not. It doesn't seem like it's as sticky out here as it is there because of course with Phoenix compared to Albuquerque, it's 6 million people compared to, you know, 500,000, 600,000. And that's kind of, you know, and so you see a lot more of more local people coming together right here, where out in Phoenix it's more of everybody's got their own spot, everybody does their own thing because it's so big.
And in comedy, you know, I kind of feel like if you don't have that confidence, the crowd's gonna see through you. You know what I mean?
You know, you're fighting with your wife or girlfriend 5 minutes before you get on stage.
Right.
And I'm fortunate enough to have a girlfriend that gives me a big hug and kiss before I get on stage if she's there. But back in the day where it was, you know, either an ex-girlfriend or an ex-wife, where it was, you're getting a battle, and I was at a point where I couldn't even get on stage unless I was wasted just because there was so much going on. And if you are coming up in the comedy industry right now listening, I would not recommend that as something to do to help your confidence down, because it will make things worse.
So what kept, even through all the dark times and the rough times, what's kept you going this whole time?
Not only juggalos, really, with stuff like this, where some guy hits you up out of the blue and says, hey, you want to come do my podcast or be on the show or do that, or somebody's booking a show, and hey, I'm doing a 420 festival. This one guy who, you know, he knows Property 6, and one of the best bands in the world is Bionic Jive, where I don't know if you've heard of those guys. They're out of Phoenix. They toured with Eminem back in the day. They were on Interscope, but he kind of knew me through there. So out of the blue, you know, you get these calls like, "You want to do my show?" And I'm like, and wasn't going to do the 420 festival in 2013. I was like, you know what? I don't know. It seemed too suspect. I didn't want the cops to raid. I didn't want them in jail. I didn't want the bombing. And I did all 3 shows, and 2 out of 3 were good. Just Sunday, I did a show. And this girl was an upcoming LA comic that had just an outlet headline. Didn't know she was going to headline. But I hosted. The night before, this was my first experience with really edibles with like professionally good things.
Oh, fuck.
A couple buddies putting weed in brownie mix. So, we're hanging out in the hotel room. It's myself, Roberto Rodriguez, John Santos, Autumn Garza, a very funny lady. Who else was there? Dirty Red out of Vegas. He was at Phoenix at the time. A lot of other funny people. Like Jorge Ruiz is another real funny guy. But you know, I was like, hey, don't fuck with them brownies, dude. Eat half of those. And I'm like, nah, because it's a vicious cycle with edibles. You eat edibles, and what happens when you eat an edible? You get stoned. When you're stoned, you get hungry. That's all I had to eat that night. So I woke up with a weed hangover the next day. And I don't know if anybody's ever had that, so you wake up and you're just as stoned as you were when you got to sleep.
Yeah.
That's the weed hangover. But so I had to host, and this was a 420 show. So it started at 4:20 p.m., so of course I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe slept till noon that day. And I did about one joke, stumbled on my words, and I'm like, okay, let's get the show going. And yeah, that was third show, but I had a good time with the other ones.
Throughout your 14 years, when were you finally able to tell yourself, you know what, I am a comic. I'm not just doing this for a hobby. I'm a comic.
Probably after that festival, probably in the last 2 years. I mean, I always had people around me that were really negative, saying, "Oh, you suck. You know, don't do the juggalo thing. Why are you even doing juggalo jokes? Don't distance yourself from those people. Those guys never get you nowhere." And that got me the laugh factory in the festival. And that was kind of like my ex-wife and a lot of people at that time that were very negative about me. So I kind of hit the reset button. I did take about 11 months off between 2011 till about late 2012. It's kind of a personal thing myself where I just kind of step back and say, well, I'll do this. Things are going real good for me right now. Writing more jokes, doing more shows. And just been having fun with it ever since.
So, the future for you, I mean, what, do you got any goals?
I mean, I'm sick of working in a call center. That's what I'm pretty much going to be doing soon. And I'm sick of doing that. I'm not really going to have a college education, so
right.
If I want to make it real money or even get my face out there, I got definitely going to be on the road. I have a few guys out there. I would love to go on the road with Keegan. You know what I'm talking about?
Keegan, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe get something going where maybe not call it a juggalo tour, but be like an underground comedy type thing for juggalos.
Right.
Maybe in different towns. If we go to Vegas, get the Alien Warrior comic to come out. That's another funny guy. I brought him out. He headlined the first ever juggalo comedy show that I had at the Monstar Shop in Phoenix. Shout out to everybody that Head Hurts for letting me expose myself to juggalos. Let me do some long ass sets to that venue, and it was really nice, doing stuff just for the family.
Do you have like a CD or anything like that, or maybe some audio or like iTunes where people can go check you out besides YouTube?
I should. Right now, it's just pretty much. I gotta get that all going. I know a lot of course, recording artists that are able to do that a lot easier than they are with a rap remix.
Right.
So I gotta definitely hit them up. But right now, it's pretty much just the YouTube, and hit me up I'm actually up on Facebook. I got That Comedian Guy. The story behind that. So, when I would, aside for doing the little juggalo side shows, when I would go to, let's say, Twisted's in town, Texan town, Clowns are in town, I go there and they go, I just always get like 10 people or so go to me, like, hey, actually, That Comedian Guy. And they had saw me way back in the day at Marquee or at, hosting a show with, OG Music or, one of those guys. And I've been blessed to open for some of the upcoming headliners, like, Whitney Payton. I got to open for her at I hosted her show at Club Red. Got to work with King Gordy back in '06. And, of course, a lot of upcoming guys, too.
So for any, like, juggalos or even non-juggalos that are possibly thinking, or maybe they're in their first couple years of comedy, what would you tell somebody like that?
Well, you got to kind of make a decision about being a juggalo and a comedian. Do you want mouth you make? And this is kind of why I try to distance myself from calling myself a juggalo comedian, because here's what he said. He goes, so I think he said somebody was I said, would you rather be a fat comedian or a comedian that just happens to be fat? And he started thinking, he goes, I just want to be a comedian that just happens to be fat. So I'd rather be, instead of labeling myself a juggalo comedian, put myself in that box. In my heart, of course, I'm a juggalo. I do work with a lot of juggalo-related hip-hop artists, do a lot of, I've been on the ArizonaJuggalos.com podcast.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Juggalos and all that. I would rather be a comedian that just happens to be a juggalo. See what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's kind of why I changed to MySpace, of course, and did the whole Facebook thing. Of course, I'm always about repping the family. I think I'm even going to go to Comic-Con. I'm going to go to Comic-Con on Friday, and I'm doing the after party for Comic-Con over at the Albuquerque Doubletree Hotel. It's free, too. You don't even have to go to Comic-Con. Show up at the bar, say what's up. I'll take some pictures or whatever, and check out my set. And that's Friday, and I think I'm going to show up to Comic-Con and wear the jersey.
Look at you, man, making it work.
It's fun. I used to go to Arizona Renaissance Festival back when I lived in Arizona, and I had a little hatchet Manhattan maybe twisted shirt on, and there'd be family everywhere there.
Oh, that's always nice to
Hopefully
see.
the cops around here won't harass me for it.
Yeah.
But like, okay, let me take off my hatchet man jersey and wear my twisted Batman shirt, you know?
Right.
Batman mask. I'm
Right, man.
My girl got me this new digital camera. So check out my YouTube maybe in a few weeks. I may document my first ever Comic-Con experience. Because thanks to the comedian that's actually been the over from a Friday, he's going to hook me up with a pass, and I'm able to get some of the celebrities there. So you have like Ron Perlman and like David Frank and the guy that's in the Chewbacca costume. I know being a nerd, I should know these names, but I don't. I'm just kind of high. But
that's all good. It's probably better you don't know.
Maybe someone will be at the show. So that'll be awesome.
So this is comedian Steve Acosta, or Esteban Jorge Acosta. For what would you like to say for your last words?
You cut me off here.
I mean, unless you got more to say, it's we.
Comedian guy. Definitely support this. You know what we have going on right here, which is CarnivalSpirits.com. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Well, make sure you watch all this guy's videos and anything that has to do with that. Of course, I'm helping out a couple of guys out of Phoenix right now. They're upcoming hip-hop artists called Poisonous Logic. Definitely there's somebody you want to interview for your show. I'm helping them out a little bit with the Albuquerque and their street team. Of course, come check me out after the Comic-Con on Friday in downtown Albuquerque at the Doubletree Resort. Starts at 7 p.m. It's over at that Doubletree. I guess if you're at Comic-Con, the tunnel connects right to the hotel. So walk up there, say, hey, where's the bar, where's the comedy show? Check out Steve Costa. And, check out my Facebook, my YouTube videos. That's all I got right now. I probably should have more CDs and DVDs.
You're working, you know what I mean? You're making it work. You're putting it together.
I make my stuff for Music Maniac. By the way, all the rappers that are out there that are listening, if you have any of your stuff on any type of mileage or anything they charge, probably download it free from Music Maniac. Any promotion, but when you put your stuff out there, you want to make money. There's always some guy that goes, I don't know, I can figure out a way to do it for free.
Right. They always want to do it for free.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a few hours away from you, but I definitely am gonna have to put something together where I can go and see you do stand up live, and
yeah, definitely check me out because
that would be dope.
I gotta check out my schedule. Not only I'm doing the Comic-Con tomorrow night with Louis Corvada, but I'm also there's a little bar in downtown. It's right attached to the Sunshine Theater. It's called the Micro Bar. I'll be hosting there tomorrow. Very funny guy from Phoenix is coming in, and I'm not sure when this is going to air, so this might be after all this. But excited that my buddy Jeff Ticaretta is coming out. Very funny gentleman by the name of Mike Long headlining, and Devin Rivera opening up. I'll be the host, and then a month later, February, of course, 12th, I'm doing the For the Love of Hip Hop. February 13th, I'm back at the Micro Bar, and I'm headlining that show. So you'll be able to see me do a half hour. I think I'll be at Knob Hill Bar and Grill. That's on the 28th. And like I said, show I'm getting most excited for is, of course, working with the 420 comedian Jeffrey Peterson up at the Can I Get a Laugh Speakeasy Vape Lounge in Colorado Springs. That is in March. The date is still to be announced, but I'm really excited for that. We'll finally be able to go to Colorado. I've never been to that state before, so.
Man, the last time that I was at the Sunshine Theater, I saw Scum there, which actually you performed on New Year's, right? You opened up for him?
No, that was at Sunshine. That was at the Jam Spot.
Yeah, there you go, Jam Spot.
Yeah, that was awesome. Scum's a good guy, man. I've seen him, of course, I've seen him in Twisted, I think, once or twice. I don't know, was he on 2 tours or 1 tour, but
right.
I've seen him. Actually, I feel blessed, dude. I got to witness the very first performance of Twisted with the Wickedness.
Were you in Albuquerque?
Theater in Tempe.
Oh, okay, never mind.
That was awesome. That
yeah.
was the first time I got to see Twisted, and that was that first show. And of course, I think that's one of the most brilliant albums ever made. So the fact that they're re-releasing that with the, of course, with the wickedness type of, I think, I don't know if they're using the band for it, but that's going to be awesome.
That was definitely the shit. We saw Twisted in the Wickedness at the Sunshine. That was dope.
So you probably saw the second show.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It was fucking dope, man. It was definitely a different Twisted, but it was very cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us talked back in the day like that they should do something different with a, with more of a live band thing. I remember back in the day. I mean, remember they teased being on, the album was supposed to be called Black Magic, which was supposed to be rock and roll Twisted style, and it never really came out. So when Years came out, that was kind of like, I think they did a kind of a shot out to is Black Magic, but to see what they're doing now, I also want to stick with it, kind of like Tex doing it, be kind of, outside the box with the whole, what they're doing. Because it's one thing to come out and just kind of rap over your tracks. A lot of people do it really good, but a lot of people, don't do it. But to see them come out with a band, no tracks, and just be Twisted with the wickedness, I mean, that was something special. I even put that over with the band The Cycles. I mean, I think that was tight, but the wickedness blew that away.
Oh yeah, I agree, 100%.
Well, when you see these guys in the band, people want to see what other people like. Same with Tech. I mean, Tech's coming to town, I'm going to be in this band there.
Right.
With the wickedness, or... But he was, continue with that style, with the band, I think it's still... It's brilliant, and it really capitalizes on that early ICP audience. The early... Because if you notice when ICP got big, it was because of... what was big at the time. In 98, 99, it was your Korns, your Limp Bizkit. A lot of people doing that new metal style. So when, of course, ICP came out, what did they do? They had Slash on the record. They had Alice Cooper doing the intro and all that.
Yep.
And I think a lot of that audience, of course, it has since dropped out. But a lot of that audience, I think, your Twisteds, your Tech Nines, maybe trying to now capitalize on that, and that have been around for years and that have kind of newer Twisted and Tech, of course, Psychopathic and all that. But now to kind of get that audience back. I kind of taper off when I start having these conversations.
No, it's all good, dude. We're juggalos here, dude. Any kind of like juggalo history or knowledge that people can school ninjas on, they love all that shit, dude. They're gonna fucking love this shit.
Yeah, I remember I think I heard ICP, it was my buddy had a cassette. We used to drink, and this guy, Randy, we would drink in his basement, smoke weed, and play cards, and it's like, I'm gonna put on ICP, and put it on, I'm like, this ain't bad. I was always kind of like, what else I could offer? And when I came out to Arizona, it was my dad's girlfriend's daughter at the time that considered me her stepbrother. I considered her a girl I wanted to bang. But she had real box. And I remember sitting in the bathroom and hearing, yeah, we speak the red balls, Willie Redneck balls. I'm like, what are you listening to? That's fucking hilarious. And she's like, ICP. I'm like, oh. So, of course, I heard Galenko first, like, 75% of the rest of the world at the time. And I started bumping, of course. I started bumping the riddle box and went out and bought, what do you call it? And this is on cassette. This is all old school. My most tasteless, my Malenko, my riddle box, my Ringmaster, all that was on cassette.
Damn it.
The first ICP CD I bought was probably Chuckle Brothers and COC. 10 years ago, my
That's awesome.
Was basically covered. It was one of those juggalos that I had all the black things. I even had the Bizarre and the Race and all of those. I think I even had the Twisted one, but I never had to cancel. You were shaky walking in my room, and I had this whole juggalo little love room going on at the time. I had the lava lamp and all that. Cause I'm a '90s kid, so. That's when we kind of came off that kind of lava lamp generation and
right.
Smoking weed and listening to
Blacklight.
I used to listen to freaking Grateful Dead and I knew that was out there in the '90s, which was the greatest hip hop there is. That's
I agree.
of course, talking. I think what Jungle has that kind of brings that right now is outright rugged. Facebook can go down further enough. You'll see me on stage with Black Pegasus, already the Rugged Man, and Whitney Payton. Where you're doing, I'm a piece of shit, I'm a funky trap song. And you see my tech shirt on because you look, who's gonna dance? And this is because I don't drink. This is the last time I got drunk at a concert, and he brought me on stage.
That's dope.
Completely logic that filmed it. I'm not really much of a drinker, so that's the people that won't be kicked out of the show during the old drink. So yeah, that's one juggalo, right? And I'm waiting to see if it happens out here at the big shows, because I've only been to the underground local shows here. I'm waiting to see if when Tech or Twisted comes through town, there's one idiot that's like, yeah, we're going to see the headline and I always get kicked out. And I'm like, how many drinks are you on now? He's like, oh, this is number 6.
Damn.
The doors open just like a half hour ago.
Fuck.
By the first second, maybe the third act, if he makes it, that kid's getting dragged out the door by security.
Definitely.
He's always trying to push himself on stage, and he elbows some guy's girlfriend or pisses off security when he does to get dragged out.
So this have been Steve Costa, Juggalo comedian, very funny. And do you have any last words that you want to tell them before we end this on the video?
I appreciate you having me on the show. Like I said, just check out me online, and if you get a thumbs down my videos, don't troll thumbs down them. Just put a little explanation why I suck.
Oh, you just called him out now, man.
No, it's a lot of the ProWrestlingFans.com people. I swear that message board only exists in case I get famous, so they can come back and put what I posted on that website. Those motherfuckers hate me. If you're ever a comedian, never go on a wrestling message board and tell them you're a comedian. And I still get haunted by the ghosts of pro wrestling fans. I was the first podcast I was ever on, but still
that's awesome.
They find my videos and put little explanations like, you suck, you tell the same shit, fuck you.
So yes, this has been Steve Costa, and you know what, man? I respect the fact that you did not drop any of your bits on here. You know what I mean? Like, you did it.
Yeah, I'm not giving away for free.
That's awesome.
A lot of stuff. If you ever get a chance to see me at a show, though, yeah, come check me out. Man, I do a lot of the stuff related to juggalos, and of course, I talk a lot about my ex and her family and the Latin portion of it.
Yep.
I don't want to give too much of it away, because if you see me on YouTube, you've probably seen it all. But I'm trying to work in some newer stuff, of course, about the nerds.
I'm definitely down with the gangster chicks, man. I'll check it out, dude. There was this one chick in high school before we end this shit. There's this one chick in high school, and she was a gangster chick, and I was kind of like, juggalo, metalhead, whatever, and I'm like, man, this chick's hot. And she had a 13 on one of her fingers, you know what I mean, on the inside.
Oh, that's hardcore, yeah.
Yeah, dude. That kind of shit. And for some reason, I'm like, I probably shouldn't even say this, but I already went this far, so fuck it. I'm like, I really want her to jack me off, and I want to come on that 13 on her hand. I don't know why.
You want a nut just right on that placa.
Right on the 13. Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, sorry, one more thing is, and I'm gonna say this if I ever do the gathering or whatnot, is the reason I'm a juggalo, and a ton of back in the day, my buddies used to throw soda on each other, kind of had this name, but we weren't really down with it. It was kind of like the Meat Brothers, but or the Meat Family, whatnot. I was a juggalo before juggalo was juggalo.
Right.
Because here's what people used to say to me back in the day, and I'm gonna end this with this: is you know what, Steve Costa, there should be a name for people like you. And I heard that all my life, and I was able to tell them what it was about, years ago, and I say juggalo, and they're like, oh, shit. Oh, God. I go, hey, you wanted that name. There you have it.
That's the shit. Steve Costa, comedian, juggalo. Thank you for watching In the Tunnels. This has been Panic 17, Carnival Spirits, trying to bring you new content in the juggalo YouTube world. And that's it, guys. Whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
To the whoop.